I married her because I thought her silence was strength. 3 years later, her silence feels like a wall. My phone buzzed at 7:10 p.m. I had set the table anyway, 2 plates, 2 glasses, the candle she once said made the room feel human. I stared at her name and answered on the first ring. Hey, I said. Are you on your way? I'm still at the office, she replied. You said you'd be home by 7. I said I'd try. I swallowed. It's our anniversary dinner. Pause. Papers rustled. Reschedule it. Reschedule our anniversary? I have a board call in 15 minutes. I held the phone tighter. You have a husband in 15 minutes too. You're being dramatic, she said, flat and calm. I cooked, I said. I bought that dessert you like. I don't have time for sweets. I stared at the candle flame. Do you have time for me? Another pause. I'm handling a crisis. You always are. Don't start, she warned. I breathed out. I'm not starting. I'm still waiting. I'll be late, she said. Eat without me. Okay, I whispered. Good, she said like I had agreed to an appointment change. The call ended. I sat down alone and listened to the quiet. At 9 o'clock, I put 1 plate in the sink untouched. My reflection in the kitchen window looked like a guest in my own home. When she finally walked in, she didn't look at the table. She didn't look at me. She walked straight to the counter, loosened her blazer, and checked her phone again. You're home, I said. She answered. How was the crisis? She didn't lift her head. Contained. I made dinner, I said. I told you to eat. I did, I lied. She glanced up for half a second. Good. I kept my voice steady. Do you know what day it is? She frowned like I was testing her. Tuesday. It's our anniversary. Her shoulders rose and fell. Right? Right? I repeated. She set her phone down. What do you want from me? I want you to look at me, I said. Not through me. I'm tired, she replied. I'm tired too, I said. But I still came home. She stepped toward the fridge. I came home. Your body did, I said. Your mind is still in that office. She opened a bottle of water. That office pays for this home. I nodded. And I'm grateful. I'm not hungry for money. Her eyes narrowed. Don't guilt me. I'm not trying to, I said. I'm trying to reach you. She drank, then said, we can talk this weekend. It's always the weekend, I said. Then it becomes next weekend. She put the bottle down harder than she needed to. I run a company. I know, I said. Everyone knows. She crossed her arms. So nobody knows me, I said, tapping my chest. Nobody asks how it feels to be married to a headline. She stared. A headline? CEO saves company, I said. CEO closes deal. I forced a smile. I sleep next to the press release. Her jaw tightened. That's insulting. I'm not insulting you, I said. I'm confessing. She looked toward the hallway. I can't do this tonight. I stepped closer. We haven't done this in 3 years. She turned back, eyes sharp. What is that supposed to mean? It means, I said, I miss you while you're standing in front of me. She exhaled like I was a problem to solve. You knew who I was when you married me. I knew you were driven, I said. I didn't know you would leave me behind to prove it. Her voice lowered. I don't have room for feelings right now. I laughed once, bitter. Then where do you put mine? She stared at me. Stop making me the villain, she said. I'm not, I said. I'm telling you I'm disappearing. She blinked. You're fine. That hurt more than any insult. Don't say that, I whispered. She checked her watch. I have an early meeting. Of course you do, I said. She walked past me. Good night. Good night, I echoed. In the bedroom, she faced the other side and started typing. The glow from her phone painted the ceiling cold blue. I lay next to her, listening to keys instead of her breathing. I wanted to say, please, just 5 minutes, but my throat locked. I watched her set her alarm, stack files, and plug in her phone like it was a heartbeat. I whispered, I'm right here. She didn't answer. Not even a sigh. I opened my own phone and scrolled through our texts. My last messages were questions. Hers were delays. Are you coming home? Running late. Did you eat? Busy. Can we talk? Later. I set the phone down and stared at the dark. I still loved her. Love made me patient. Patience made me invisible. I realized quietly that I hadn't just been lonely tonight. I had been lonely longer than I had been married, and I didn't know when I started calling it normal. I stopped asking. That was the first change and nobody noticed. At breakfast she said, "I'll be late tonight." I nodded. She paused. "You're not asking why." I said, "I trust your schedule." She smiled, relieved, and went back to her phone. That smile hurt. That night I didn't text. At 10 she wrote, "Still awake?" I replied, "Yes." She sent, "Good." Nothing else. I stared at the word until it felt like a period at the end of a sentence. The next morning I tried once. "Can we talk tonight?" I asked. She said, "About what?" I said, "Us." She answered, "I don't have the bandwidth." I said, "Okay." She kissed my cheek like a favor. Days passed. I cooked. I cleaned. I listened to her calls bleed into our living room. She said words like leverage and alignment and risk. I waited for my name. It never came. At dinner with colleagues, someone said, "You're lucky." I smiled. My wife said, "He's very understanding." I nodded. Understanding felt like a cage. My friend noticed first. He called and said, "You sound hollow." I said, "I'm busy." He said, "You're avoiding." I sighed. "Can we meet?" He said, "Now." We sat at a small bar. He asked, "How's married life?" I said, "Quiet." He raised an eyebrow. "Quiet like peace or quiet like neglect?" I didn't answer. He leaned in. "Don't protect her from the truth." "I'm not protecting her," I said. "I'm tired." He shook his head. "That's not tired. That's shrinking." I laughed weakly. "What do you want me to do, yell?" He said, "I want you to matter to yourself." I looked at my drink. "She's important," I said. "So are you," he replied. "Or were you born optional?" That stung. "She runs a company," I said. "And you run yourself into the ground," he said. "When did you decide silence was loyalty?" I didn't have an answer. He softened. "Talk to me," he said. "What do you actually feel?" I opened my mouth, then closed it. "I don't know how to say it out loud." He nodded. "Then write it." He tapped the table. "Write what you never say." That night I opened a notes app. I wrote, "I feel invisible." My chest loosened. I wrote, "I miss being chosen." My hands shook. I wrote, "I'm scared this is my life now." I stared at the words like they could see me back. She came home late. "You're quiet," she said. I replied, "I'm listening." She said, "Good," and went to shower. I added another line, "She doesn't notice the change." I stopped asking for dinners. I stopped reminding her of dates. I stopped bringing problems to a person who treated them like delays. When she canceled, I said, "Okay." When she forgot, I said nothing. Silence became my language. My friend texted, "You alive?" I wrote, "Yes." He replied, "How's the writing?" I typed, "Loud." He sent, "Good." Weeks passed. My notes filled with truths. I love her. I resent her. I don't feel married. I feel employed. Writing didn't fix anything. It kept me from exploding. One night she asked, "Why are you so calm lately?" I said, "I'm choosing my words." She said, "That's mature." I smiled. It wasn't maturity. It was retreat. She missed my birthday. At midnight she said, "I'll make it up to you." I replied, "No need." She looked surprised. "You're okay?" I said, "I'm used to it." The words slipped out. She frowned, then checked her phone. I wrote that night, "Being okay is not the same as being alive." My friend called again. "You're disappearing," he said. I answered, "I'm conserving energy." He said, "For what?" I said, "For myself." He paused. "That's new." I said, "It's necessary." I watched my wife move through rooms like a storm with a schedule. She didn't ask why I stopped asking. That was the worst part. No fight. No fear. Just relief. I realized then that silence is a blade with two edges. It can cut you down slowly or it can carve you into something sharper. As I closed my notes and set my phone aside, I understood I had to choose which kind of quiet I was becoming. I learned how small I was the night the lights followed her. We walked into the ballroom together, but the room split us apart. "Ma'am," someone said, already stepping between us. She smiled and moved forward. I slowed, then stopped. No one noticed. An executive shook her hand. "Brilliant quarter," he said. She replied, "Team effort." He laughed. "With leadership like yours." I stood a step back. Another man nodded at me. "Good evening," he said, eyes already sliding away. A woman asked, "Do you work with her?" I said, "I'm her husband." She blinked. Oh. Then, excuse me, and turned back to my wife. I drifted toward the bar. A man beside me said, impressive woman. I said, she is. He asked, which division are you in? I answered, home. He smiled politely. Ah. Then he left. She found me later. Are you okay? She asked. I said, I'm fine. She said, try to network. I nodded. I am. She kissed my cheek. Back soon, she said, already turning. A group gathered around her. We need you on stage, someone said. Applause followed her like a tide. I watched hands lift phones. I watched her name light screens. I watched myself disappear. At a table, 2 executives spoke over me. Her vision saved the merger, one said. The other replied, she's relentless. I cleared my throat. She is, I said. They glanced at me, then continued without pause. I stepped outside for air. A woman in a company badge joined me. Crowded, she said. I replied, loud? She smiled. I'm Maya. I said my name. She shook my hand and looked at me like I existed. You're her husband, she said, not as a question. Yes, I said. She nodded. She works hard. I answered, all the time. Maya paused. You look tired. I laughed softly. I am. She said, that makes sense. The honesty surprised me. Inside, someone called my wife's name again. Maya said, they pull her in every direction. I replied, they don't see what they take. She considered that. Do you? She asked. I said, I'm learning. We went back in. Maya stopped at her desk. If you need anything, she said, I'm around. I said, thank you. It felt heavy, that word. My wife returned later, glowing. Did you meet anyone? She asked. I said, a few people. She said, good. She checked her phone. I need to make rounds. I nodded. Go. At another table, a man said, tell her we need an answer by Monday. I replied, I'll tell her. He frowned. Just email her assistant. I said, okay. He turned away. I stood there holding a message no one trusted me to deliver. Maya passed again. You look anchored, she said. I asked, is that good? She said, better than drifting. She handed me a glass of water. Eat something. I took it. You didn't have to. She said, I wanted to. My wife finished a speech. Applause rose. I clapped steady. She waved, confident. Pride sat next to something colder. I realized I wasn't jealous of her success. I was empty of my own. In the car, she said, that went well. I replied, you were great. She smiled. We make a good team. I stared ahead. Do we? She said, of course. She checked messages. At home, she kicked off her heels. I'm exhausted, she said. I answered, me too. She said, tomorrow's packed. I said, I know. She kissed my cheek again. Thank you for coming. I nodded. I opened my notes. I wrote, I don't need applause. I wrote, I need regard. The words felt clean. I thought of Maya's eyes, how they didn't slide away. I thought of executives who didn't hear me. I wasn't angry anymore. I was clear. I stopped rehearsing lines in my head. I stopped hoping someone would ask. I decided I didn't need to be seen by a room to see myself. When my wife said, good night, I replied, good night? I meant it. Lying there, I felt the shift. It was quiet and private. Power didn't change hands in the ballroom. It moved inside me unnoticed, and that was enough for now. I was in the kitchen when she called my name, sharp and confused. Did you write this? She asked. I walked into the living room. She stood by the couch, my tablet in her hands, my notes open on the screen. My words stared back at me like they'd been dragged into daylight. Yes, I said. Her eyes moved fast. Why would you write something like this? She read aloud, I feel married to a schedule, not a person. She looked up. That's cruel. It's honest, I replied. She scoffed. You're venting. Everyone vents. I said, not everyone disappears. She scrolled. I eat alone more nights than not. She laughed once, sharp. You're exaggerating. I'm counting, I said. She kept reading. I'm afraid I'll die emotionally before I ever leave. Her voice wavered. What is this? A threat. It's a confession, I said. She put the tablet down hard. Why didn't you say this to me? I did, I said. You were busy. Her jaw tightened. That's not fair. I folded my arms. Neither is being invisible. She paced. You went behind my back and wrote lies. I shook my head. I went behind your silence. She stopped. So you think I neglect you? I think, I said carefully, that you don't see me. She crossed her arms. I provide everything. I never asked for everything, I said. I asked for you. She laughed, but it cracked. This is dramatic. I opened the notes again. Read the dates. She hesitated, then looked. Her face shifted. These go back years. Yes, I said. Why didn't you stop me? She asked. I blinked. Stop you from what? From becoming this, she said, gesturing between us. I tried, I said. You called it noise. She sat down slowly. You make it sound like I abandoned you. You did, I said quietly, while standing right next to me. Her voice rose. I work for us. I know, I said. You don't live with us. She looked at the floor. You could have told me sooner. I could have shouted, I said. You don't hear shouting. She looked up. So you wrote instead? Yes, I said. Because paper doesn't interrupt. She swallowed. You resent me. I grieved you, I said. Resentment came later. She stood again. This makes me look heartless. I met her eyes. It makes you human. She shook her head. No. It makes me the villain. I'm not casting roles, I said. I'm telling my truth. She picked up the tablet again. I stopped asking because hope started hurting. Her voice softened, then hardened. You stopped fighting. I stopped begging, I said. She pointed at the screen. She wouldn't notice if I vanished. She snapped it off. That's manipulative. It's afraid, I said. She pressed her lips together. You think I don't care? I think, I said, you care about outcomes. She stared. I care about you. I waited. Then show me. She hesitated. I'm here now. You're here because you read my thoughts, I said. Not because you noticed my absence. Her shoulders sagged. I didn't know you felt this bad. That's the problem, I said. You didn't know me. She whispered, I know you. I shook my head. You know my availability. She took a step toward me. I love you. I believe you, I said. Love without attention starves. She frowned. What do you want? I want you to stop arguing with my feelings, I said, and start listening. She wiped her eyes quickly. I'm listening. I paused. Then don't defend. Don't explain. Just hear me. She nodded, silent. I said, I wake up alone even when you're in bed. Her breath caught. I celebrate alone, I continued. I hurt quietly. I learned not to need you. She whispered, that scares me. It should, I said. It scares me too. She sat back down. I thought you were strong. I am, I said. That's why I lasted. She looked up. Are you leaving me? I answered honestly. I don't know. She flinched. After everything I do? I said, after everything you don't. She stared at the wall. I never meant to lose you. You didn't notice losing me, I said. Silence filled the room. It was different now. It wasn't empty. It was heavy. She spoke softly. I don't recognize this man. I met her gaze. You never met him. Her confidence cracked then, not loudly but cleanly. I thought I knew my husband. I nodded. So did I. She started noticing me the week I stopped orbiting her. Where are you going? She asked as I tied my shoes. I'm heading out, I said. For what? She pressed. I joined a gym, I replied. She blinked. When? I shrugged. Recently. You didn't tell me, she said. I didn't think it mattered, I answered. That silence landed wrong. She watched me longer than usual. You've been different, she said. I feel different, I replied. At dinner, she put her phone face down. That was new. How was your day? She asked. Productive, I said. She waited. Doing what? Living, I said. Her brow creased. You're being vague. I'm being private, I answered. The next morning she texted me first. Coffee later? I replied, can't. Schedule's full. 3 dots appeared, vanished, then appeared again. With what? She asked. I typed, plans. At work, Maya smiled when she saw me. You look steady, she said. I feel grounded, I replied. She nodded. Good posture for life. I laughed. I'm practicing. She lowered her voice. Your wife's tense. I know, I said. She asked about you, Maya added. I paused. What did you say? I said you're fine, she replied. Because you are. That felt right. My friend called that night. You're glowing, he said. I ran 5 miles, I replied. He whistled. That'll do it. And I slept, I added. Without waiting, he asked. Yes, I said. He laughed. That's power. At home, my wife watched me eat. You're cooking again, she said. I like it, I replied. You never used to, she said. I used to be busy waiting, I answered. She pushed her plate away. We should talk. I nodded. We are. She sighed. You know what I mean. I do, I said. And I'm not rushing it. That night, she reached for my hand in bed. I let her hold it, but I didn't squeeze back. She noticed. You're distant, she whispered. I'm centered, I replied. She turned toward me. Did I do something? Yes, I said gently. And so did I. She frowned. What does that mean? It means I stopped abandoning myself, I answered. Her phone buzzed. She groaned. Another fire. You should take it, I said. She stared. You don't care? I care, I said. I don't chase. She left the room. I stayed. Days passed like that. She asked questions. I answered honestly but briefly. She canceled fewer dinners. I declined a few anyway. Not to punish her. To choose myself. At the gym, my friend said, You're calmer. I stopped negotiating my worth, I replied. He nodded. Keep that. Maya handed me a report. Your wife's under pressure, she said. I can tell, I replied. She's snapping, Maya added. At everyone. I didn't smile. I hope she rests. That night, my wife paced the living room. They want numbers I can't promise, she said. I listened. That's hard, I said. She stopped. That's it. What else do you want? I asked. She exhaled. Advice. I trust your judgment, I replied. She stared at me like I'd changed languages. You used to fix things. I used to fix you, I said. Now I respect you. Her eyes shone. I need you. I'm here, I said. I'm not lost. She looked at my hand. Where's your ring? I opened my palm. The ring sat there warm from my skin. I still have it. You took it off, she said. Yes, I answered. Why? She asked. Because I wanted to know who I was without it, I said. Her voice broke. Do you still choose me? I closed my fingers around the ring. I'm choosing myself first. She sat down, stunned. That sounds like goodbye. It sounds like honesty, I replied. Later, my friend texted, You okay? I wrote, I'm clear. He replied, That's rare. I lay in bed, ring on the nightstand, not accusing, not pleading. Just there. A symbol of choice, not ownership. My wife watched it from her side, silent. For the first time, she was watching me the way I had watched her for years. I felt no thrill in it. Only balance. And in that balance, I finally felt in control of my life, not by taking power from her, but by taking it back from myself, quietly, fully, and without apology. The cracks showed up at breakfast. She slammed her laptop shut and said, They're questioning my projections. I poured coffee. That's stressful. That's it, she snapped. I met her eyes. What do you want me to say? She ran a hand through her hair. You used to push me. I used to manage your emotions, I said. You didn't like that either. She stood. Everyone's watching me fail. I don't see failure, I replied. I see pressure. She scoffed. You don't understand. I understand instability, I said. I lived in it. She grabbed her phone. I can't deal with this. You don't have to deal with me, I said calmly. She froze. That's not what I meant. It's what you said, I replied. At work, Maya pulled me aside. She yelled at 3 people, she whispered. I nodded. That's not like her. It is now, Maya said. She asked if you were unhappy. I smiled faintly. I'm honest. My friend called. She's spiraling, he said. I won't celebrate that, I replied. Are you okay? He asked. Yes, I said. I'm steady. That night she came home early. We need to talk, she said. I set my book down. Okay. She paced. They don't trust me. Trust erodes under strain, I said. She stopped. You're quoting me. I learned from listening, I replied. She sat suddenly smaller. I'm scared. I nodded. That's human. She looked up. I pushed you away. Yes, I said. I didn't think you'd stop reaching, she whispered. I didn't think you'd notice, I replied. Her eyes filled. I regret it. I let the silence hold that. She continued, I don't sleep. I replay meetings. I snap at everyone. I know, I said. How? She asked. Patterns, I replied. She leaned forward. Can we fix this? I asked, what does this mean to you? She hesitated. Me. Everything. I took a breath. Fixing isn't control. It's care. She nodded quickly. I can care. I can change. I've heard that before, I said gently. Her voice shook. I mean it now. I believe you, I replied. Belief isn't commitment. She flinched. So you're leaving. I'm choosing dignity, I said. She wiped her face. Is that different? Yes, I said. Dignity doesn't punish. It protects. She stood and walked to the window. My board thinks I'm distracted. I said, you are. She turned. Because of you? Because of consequences, I replied. She pressed her palms together. I need support. I won't abandon you, I said. I won't erase myself either. She looked at me desperate. Tell me what to do. I can't, I said. That's your work. She whispered, I feel alone. I answered, so did I. That landed. She sank into the chair. I thought power meant control. I said, power without connection is isolation. She looked at the floor. I'm losing respect. Respect returns with consistency, I replied. She asked, can we start over? I paused. We can start honestly. She nodded. I was wrong. I know, I said. She looked up. Do you still love me? I do, I answered. Love isn't permission. She closed her eyes. I deserve this. I said, you deserve growth. My friend texted me, everything okay? I replied, I'm choosing clean hands. Later she asked, why aren't you angry? I said. I processed it. She swallowed. I'm afraid you'll leave. I'm afraid of staying broken, I replied. She nodded slowly. What happens now? Now, I said, you face your work. I face my truth. She reached for my hand. I let her touch it, then gently pulled away. Not yet, I said. She nodded, tears quiet. I understand. I stood. I'm not exposing you. I'm not fighting you. I'm not saving you. She looked up. Then what are you doing? I'm respecting us both, I said. She watched me walk to the bedroom. No shouting followed. No slammed doors. Just the sound of her breathing, uneven but real. I lay down and stared at the ceiling. Karma didn't arrive with thunder. It arrived with clarity. I chose dignity over revenge, restraint over control, and myself over the comfort of being needed. That choice didn't feel loud. It felt right. She asked me to sit with her, and I knew this time was different. I need to say this without excuses, she said. I nodded. Go ahead. She took a breath. I thought you would always stay. The words landed heavier than anger. Always? I asked. Yes, she said. No matter how busy I was. No matter how distant I became. I looked at my hands. That belief hurt us. I know, she whispered. I treated you like a constant. A background, I said gently. She flinched. I didn't think you would disappear. I didn't disappear, I replied. I adapted. Her eyes filled. I see that now. I stayed quiet. She continued, I thought love meant endurance. That if you loved me you'd wait. Waiting without care becomes neglect, I said. She nodded. I neglected you. I said, neglect doesn't bruise once. It reshapes. She wiped her face. You're not the same. I can't be, I answered. Not after learning how to live without being noticed. She leaned forward. I'm sorry. I hear you, I said. She asked, do you forgive me? Yes, I replied. Her shoulders lifted with hope. Then we can. I raised my hand. Forgiveness isn't return. Her face fell. So this is it. This is closure, I said. She shook her head. I never meant to hurt you. I know, I said. Intent doesn't undo impact. She stared at the floor. I didn't know how lonely you were. That's the wound, I replied. You didn't look. She whispered, I was blind. I was quiet, I said. Quiet enough to vanish. She looked up. Why didn't you leave earlier? I believed patience was love, I answered. I learned it was fear. Her voice cracked. I don't want to lose you. You already did, I said, not cruel, just clear. She covered her mouth. I deserve this. Deserve isn't helpful, I replied. Understanding is. She asked, is there nothing I can do? You can stop punishing yourself, I said, and start respecting the truth. She nodded slowly. I thought success would protect us. Success without presence isolates, I said. She took my hand. I let her hold it. I still love you, she said. I know, I replied. Love didn't leave. Trust did. She squeezed my hand. Can trust come back? Sometimes, I said. But not here. She closed her eyes. I never thought you'd walk away. That thought shaped everything, I said. She opened her eyes. I'm sorry I assumed. I accept that, I replied. She asked, what happens to us now? We separate kindly, I said. Without bitterness. She nodded. You're so calm. I had time to grieve, I answered. She whispered, I'm only starting. I hope you finish, I said. She laughed weakly. You sound like you're free. I am, I replied. Because I stayed honest. She leaned back. Do you hate me? No, I said. I understand you. That might be worse, she said. It's healthier, I replied. She wiped her eyes. I wish I had listened sooner. So do I said. Silence settled between us, not sharp, not empty. Just real. She stood. Thank you for not yelling. Thank you for finally hearing, I replied. At the door she paused. I thought loving you meant you'd stay. I answered, loving myself meant I couldn't. She nodded once. Goodbye. Goodbye, I said. When she left, the room felt lighter. Not happy. Complete. I didn't win. I didn't lose. I closed a chapter without tearing the pages. Forgiveness didn't bring her back, and it didn't need to. I walked forward carrying respect instead of resentment, knowing that love can end without becoming poison, and that leaving with dignity was the truest thing I had done in years. I woke up without the urge to check my phone, and that felt like progress. My friend called while I was making coffee. You sound lighter, he said. I slept, I replied. He laughed. Look at you living dangerously. I'm learning, I said. Any regrets? He asked. I thought for a moment. No, just memories. That's healthy, he said. Proud of you. Don't make it weird, I replied. I will, he said. You earned it. We hung up and I sat with the quiet. It wasn't empty anymore. It felt owned. Later I met Maya for lunch. She smiled when she saw me. You look settled, she said. I feel steady, I replied. She nodded. Your wife hasn't been herself. I know, I said. Are you okay talking about it? She asked. Yes, I answered. I'm done hiding. She stirred her drink. You changed without becoming cold. That was the goal, I said. She smiled. That's rare. I learned the hard way, I replied. She asked, do you hate her? No, I said. I understand her. That's generous, she said. It's freeing, I replied. At home I packed slowly. Not in a rush. Not in anger. Each item felt like a decision. I found the ring again and held it between my fingers. You taught me choice, I said aloud. The doorbell rang. It was my friend. Need help? He asked. I've got it, I said. He looked around. You okay here? Yes, I replied. I'm okay anywhere now. We carried boxes downstairs. He said, you didn't fight. I finished, I said. That's better, he replied. On the drive he asked, what did you learn? I answered, being ignored hurts less than ignoring myself. He nodded. That's wisdom. When I reached my new place, Maya texted. If you need anything. I replied, I'm good. Thank you. I stood by the window and watched the city move. No one knew my story. That felt peaceful. My wife called once. I answered. I just wanted to hear your voice, she said. I'm glad you did, I replied. I hope you're okay, she said. I am, I answered. I'm trying to be better, she said. I believe you, I replied. There was a pause. I'm sorry, she said. I know, I answered. Goodbye, she said. Goodbye, I replied. I didn't feel relief or pain, just completion. That evening my friend came over with food. To new chapters, he said. To self-respect, I replied. We ate and talked about nothing important. It felt important anyway. After he left, I sat on the floor with my back against the wall. I thought about the nights I waited, the calls unanswered, the meals eaten alone. I didn't resent them anymore. They were lessons. I said softly, "Thank you for showing me what I won't accept." The words didn't shake. They settled. I wrote one last note. Love didn't fail me. I failed myself by shrinking. I won't do that again. I closed the app and deleted it. The next morning I walked outside early. The air was cool. The street was quiet. I felt present. A stranger smiled and said, "Morning." "Morning," I replied. It felt simple. Real. I wasn't healed by time. I was healed by choice. By the moment I stopped begging to be seen and started standing where I was visible to myself. I didn't win a battle. I ended a pattern. I didn't leave because I stopped loving her. I left because I started loving me. As I walked forward, hands empty and heart full, I understood something clearly for the first time. Disappearing was never my fate. Staying silent was. And I had already broken that habit. I kept walking, not toward revenge or regret, but toward a life where my presence mattered. I didn't need applause. I didn't need permission. I needed honesty. And I finally gave it to myself.